Okay, we're not too many people, so if you have any questions, please stop me at any point along the way to make it a bit more interactive. My name is Vladimir Velikov, and I'm a staff engineer at Broadcom in the VCF data protection unit. And I'm responsible for the VCDR service plane UI. Now, VMware Live Recovery is a new offering which was announced by Broadcom a few months ago. And as you know, Broadcom likes to have one thing for stuff. And VLR is the common unified story for DR. Now, there has been, over the years, there have been a lot of innovation in the DR space. So you probably know a bunch of products which are doing DR from VMware. So you have the Site Recovery Manager, SRM, you have VMware Cloud Disaster Recovery, VCDR, you have HCX, which is doing something similar. There are VCDA with the multi-tenancy. I've also seen solutions where the base vSphere replication has been used as a form of disaster recovery. So all this innovation, it has been more focused on the DR itself. But as you heard in the keynote by Duncan, often the customer was left out of these innovations. So today we're going to talk more about how we are going to consume DR going forward. So VLR is, especially 1.0, is aiming at consolidating all these products together, starting with the two main ones, which are SRM and VCDR. Now, how many of you are using SRM or have used SRM at one point? Okay. Okay, I saw the number is different, so we need to check why you've moved away or changed. Okay. So SRM is basically its strength is on-prem to on-prem protection and recovery. So it's based on vSphere replication from one side or vVols and array-based replication. And its main advantages basically are the large number of VMs per recovery plan. So up to, at the moment, it's up to 5,000 VMs. It has a full set of APIs to build your automation with. And last but not least, it's integration, like deep integration with vSphere and the other parts of the VCF stack, basically. It also supports hyperscalers. Now, on the VCDR side, how many of you have tried or used VCDR? Okay. So more or less what I expected. So VCDR is focused on cloud DR. So you have a production site. So while for SRM you have two pairs and each, you have a pair and each site is recovery site for the other. In the cloud scenario, you have an on-prem site and the replication goes to the cloud. Now, the VMs being replicated to the cloud are orchestrated by the SAS orchestrator, that's the common engine there, and stored through the scale-out file system, which is extremely important for keeping the VMs in a state ready to power on so that you can very quickly spin them up and try your snapshots out. So advantages here, deep history of snapshots that you can choose from. you are aided by a number of tools which are doing anomaly detection. We will see this a little bit later. And this helps you find the right snapshot a lot more quickly. And the ready integrated recovery environment. So when you are hit by ransomware, for example, the last thing you want is to now start figuring out what kind of environment do you need to build, what it should look like. Even if you already planned for that, you are never certain whether spinning your infected snapshots there would not reinfect your system or infect other parts of your system. So here I will address the elephant in the room, which is what does Broadcom think about all this cloud thingy. So especially about DR and especially about ransomware recovery, the go-forward strategy for Broadcom is the cloud. So you run your VMs on-prem, you protect them in the cloud, you clean them up in the cloud so that it's somewhere out there, not in your data center, and you recover. And obviously, ransomware recovery feature is currently supported only on the VCDR side. We are hoping to change that. So now VLR is consolidating these two with 1.0. In the future, we can do more. But the direction in which the consolidation is going is first common management UI, so that you can see all your sites on-prem, in the cloud, whether they are protected through SRM or VCDR. With also information about health status, whether you have to do something about it, whether VMs are in a state ready to be recovered or not, and how many of them are ready for recovery and how many of them are not, and you really need to do something about it. And also, usage. Ransomware recovery available for the same VM on-prem and in the cloud. And thirdly, it's a single subscription for your data protection. So basically, you buy per VM subscription, and it is applied throughout your fleet, regardless of how exactly you are protecting the VM. And the new branding is VMware Live Cyber Recovery for VCDR and VMware Live Site Recovery for SRM. So if you see this, you know what this is talking about. So as I mentioned, now you can have a VM on-prem and keep protecting it on-prem to your DR site through SRM. But now, in addition to that, you can actually add ransomware protection. And this is something that a lot of customers have asked for. They say, oh, we are already doing the on-prem stuff, but we want to protect from ransomware. And if ransomware hits, we want to be able to recover from it. So this is where you are able to protect the same VM through the cyber recovery solution to the cloud, and get your isolated recovery environment in the cloud, clean up the VM, and restore it back. So a little bit about how things work. So now you have a VLR Cloud Console, which is tracking all your deployments, all your sites. Obviously, when it comes to on-prem, you have dark sites, you have they are sometimes not connected to cloud, or they need to be, or you don't want them to be. So in the connected scenario, on the left-hand side, you have your on-prem site. So there is an agent running together with each SRM deployment, which establishes the connection to the cloud and is responsible only for communication to the cloud, so sending health and sending usage, and that's all. It doesn't do anything else. And it's especially important the fact that it will always push data up. So the Cloud Console is not allowed to send direct requests to your on-prem data center for obvious reasons. Now, if the Cloud Console needs to communicate back to the agents, it would just post a job in a queue, and all the agents would monitor these jobs, and if they find a message which is addressed directly to this particular agent, they would react. For example, if Cloud Console wants like the latest data, give me the latest data, they would check, the agents would check the jobs, see that a request has been made, and push the data again. So the flow goes only one way. Now, obviously, it's a lot easier in the cloud where you have bidirectional connection, and there is direct communication between the console and the VCDR instances in each region in the cloud. So this is how I'm not sure, is this visible? It's almost not visible. Oh, is it better there? Okay, that's cool. Okay, so this is the unified service experience for VMware Live Recovery. Now, this is the unified view of all your deployments. So as you can see, the first deployment is a single SRM. So you can connect a single SRM to the cloud. So it's then connected to the cloud, but at this point it's not paired with another SRM, and it's not activated for VLR. So also at this point there is no subscription going on, so this is kind of the first step. So once you connect two SRMs and you pair them up, then you would see what is visible on the second card here. So basically, both SRMs are connected with each other, are paired, and they're connected to the cloud, and they're sending health and usage statistics. So the usage statistics are go in two directions. So protection, number of protected VMs, and also you're given the percentage of those VMs who are ready for recovery, so that you can take action if you see that you are not reaching the percentage you are after. So these green check marks are showing the health of the given site. So it shows you how much you can trust the data and how much you can be certain that this is the latest data. It might have changed since if there are connectivity issues and so on. So at the bottom, you see the VCDR deployments in different regions. Apart from the VMs and the percentage of disaster-ready VMs, you also get the capacity, the consumed capacity, which is of course important in the cloud scenario, and percentage of the ransomware-ready VMs. Now, in terms of numbers, probably you can see that the overview on top contains less VMs than the sum of VMs in all deployments. This is because one VM can be protected with multiple solutions. But you do have this overview for your cyber recovery regions and for your SRM sites. There's also a subscriptions view where you can track all your subscriptions. You'll see it a little bit later. And guided install and deploy section. So here, you are able to set up a cyber recovery region, which is live and direct, but you can also do a setup of an SRM site. Obviously, most of the things that you need to do are on-prem, so it's more of a guide than a live workflow that you can run from the cloud. But it will take you through all the steps you need to do with links to download and documentation and all that. Going forward, we're planning some more detection so that this can be more live and actually do a validation that you have actually did these things on-prem and the cloud detected them and all is good. Sorry, of?
You need a specific version of vSphere that it works like vSphere version 8?
Not from vSphere. You need SRM 9.0. So, and in the cloud, it's already running. So. Okay, what else do we have in this demo? There is also a quick planner, which we currently call Solutions Guide. This is to help you with choosing which solution you actually need. There is an advanced planner online, but this would kind of give you the direct hints. So you say, I want ransomware recovery, and then the system would offer you cyber recovery. But if you say that you actually want a better RPO, so cyber recovery supports 15 minutes, but SRM goes down to 1 minute. So if you say 5 minutes, you would get offered site recovery and trigger the setup workflow. Okay, so let's see how we can set up an SRM. This is an instance of the SRM appliance management, which now has a connect to cloud button. You run different kinds of connectivity and DNS checks. And once those are completed, you can just go ahead and connect to the cloud. What will happen is there will be a new tab opened in the browser where you can complete the workflow through the cloud console. You select an org which you want to associate this site recovery manager with, and approve or deny the requests. On the top right, there is a timeout which is up to 3 minutes. So the token is valid for 3 minutes. If it expires, you have to start again from the SRM appliance management UI. So once you're connected, at this point, you can now open the VMware Live Recovery and see a new deployment in progress. Now, it takes a few minutes to get detected, and once you do it for 2 SRMs which are paired, you will be able to see the paired SRM card. But it is not sufficient to call this activated. You still need to convert these SRMs to subscription. And this is the second step that we are going to see. So on the bottom right, you see on the top right, you see our pair. So both SRMs are connected. They are paired. And now I will activate Live Recovery. It is not a difficult flow. You just need to select the seller to proceed with. In this case, we have only VMware. And click Activate. So there is live tracking through tasks, and within a few minutes, the onboarding process will be completed, and you will be able to see all your usage and health data sent by the agents of both the SRMs. And they are summed up in this one card for the whole pair. Now the data that is shown is cumulative. So when we say protection, like here, it means the protected VMs from site 1 plus the protected VMs from site 2. And same goes for recovery. It's not only left to right. This gives you a better overview of what this is about. So, of course, you might want to decommission an SRM, so there's also a flow to deactivate a VMware Live Recovery pair. It's a standard flow, but I do encourage you to go for it, because with this you're telling the cloud, hey, stop billing me for this. If you just decommission on-prem, the cloud doesn't know about it, needs to be told. In terms of dark sites, this is something we haven't released yet, but we're heavily working on it. That you will be able to integrate with this cloud console also for dark sites, and it will involve, just a moment, and it will involve like uploading regularly usage data. Okay, so this is the activation. Now, an interesting aspect, if your SRM agents haven't reported in a while, let's say, not let's say, but exactly 30 days, they will get into a degraded mode. And after 60 days, it will be suspended mode. So at this point, some features of SRM will stop working. The VLR solution requires connectivity to the cloud when it's not in the disconnected mode, in the offline mode. In live mode, it requires that the agents are regularly there. And also for troubleshooting, you can track everything through the activity log, where you have tasks and events just like you have in your vSphere environments. Now, let's focus on the ransomware recovery part, because this is a very key thing that almost all customers ask us for. So at the moment, ransomware recovery is supported only within the cyber recovery solution. Going forward, we are hoping to get it on-prem, as well as all the things around the integrated recovery environment. Though we still recommend ransomware recovery to happen in the cloud. So on the left-hand side, you have a production site. In the middle, you have the cloud DR running in the cloud. So first thing you need to do is select a suitable snapshot retention period. Now, modern ransomware, like since maybe 2017 or so, is largely fileless, and it might infect your system and stay there for months, trying to infect other parts of your system, and one day you wake up and the files are encrypted. So in the past it would happen almost immediately, but nowadays this can take months. So you need a long enough retention period so that you actually have healthy snapshots. And the cyber recovery solution helps a lot with that, with its deep history. So let's say we select 3 to 6 months of retention, and at one point you realize some of your VMs are infected, and obviously some of your snapshots are too. So how do you select a suitable snapshot? There is a snapshot anomaly detection embedded in the solution, and it's not just running some checks. It actually tracks the entropy rate and the change rate of your data, of your snapshots. If certain snapshots between snapshot 1 and snapshot 2, if there is a huge difference in a short period of time and a lot of changes, the chances are that this is where something happened. And we will show you a graph where you can see that there are certain activities going on in this exact moment in time, so we'd probably like to select a snapshot before that. So you pick a snapshot, and the next thing you get for free is the isolated recovery environment. It can be just running. If you have ready hosts in the cloud, obviously you pay for that. But it can also be spinned on demand. So the IRE is up and running, and you can immediately, through live mounting, start mount the VMs in quarantine mode. So at this point, they're not interacting with each other, they're not interacting with the IRE, and they're not interacting with the outside world. So in this mode, you can run various scans, the standard vulnerability and file system scans. But in the fileless scenario, you really need behavioral analysis. And behavioral analysis is the other key differentiator here, because it's AI-based, but not, I had to put this here, but this is not an AI innovation with let's do something with AI kind of thing. It is built a few years ago, especially with ransomware recovery in mind. So this tool would track the VM, the running VM, and anything that's happening there, and see if there are anomalies. And with fileless ransomware, there's no other way to discover that there is something going on than running such behavioral analysis on your VMs. And obviously, after that, you can check your alerts, whether the analysis found anything. And you can also manually inspect your VMs. There are also different isolation levels for the network. So you start fully quarantined, but then you can try opening only outbound connections, inbound connections, see if any strange requests are going on, run again the behavioral analysis and see how things are going. So if you are not satisfied with the results of all the scanning and testing, you come back to step 2 to select another snapshot. So a huge advantage of this solution is that steps 2 to 5 are extremely quick because of all the tools that help you discover whether the snapshot is viable, the immediate live mounting, and the pre-cooked IRE. So once you are satisfied with the main snapshot, you can also curate a custom image. So you can spin some infected snapshots and pick selected files from there to decrease data loss and add them to the snapshot which you already know is healthy. So this way you completely minimize the data loss, and once you're ready, you restore the VMs to the protected site. Now, ransomware recovery is kind of consolidating different products within VMware which have existed for a long time. The cloud side for the SDDC and ARE, the NSXT for the firewall stuff, Carbon Black for all the scanning and analysis, and VCDR for the orchestration. Now, these things you don't have to buy separately. It's also the Broadcom way. You buy one thing, you get everything. But the other thing which is extremely important is that this solution is built in such a way that it is these elements can be swapped. So the architecture allows that at one point you do additional orchestration through other means. You might want different scanners and so on, or different clouds. For NSX, I'm not sure what you would change it with, but at the moment, you would get it for free anyway, as part of VCF. So I don't have a running demo for the ransomware recovery, so I'll just show some screenshots. If you are interested, I can later show you how it goes. This is a screenshot of the change rate and entropy rate, which allow you to select the best snapshot. So as you can see here, the change rate is significant, so something happened. So you most likely want to select a snapshot before this, which is with higher likelihood would be good. And it will be as close as possible to decrease data loss. What you can also do is mark a given snapshot with good or bad, and try another one. And this way you have a consistent tracking of what's going on. Also, within your team, you can spread the work on different VMs, different snapshots, and you have a common view of how far are you with the recovery process. This is an example of how you recover guest files. After you have selected a good snapshot, you want to recover specific files from your broken snapshots. And this is a screenshot of changing the VM network isolation levels. So you have isolated, quarantine plus analysis, external outbound, internal inbound, internal plus external, or completely open. And in each of these, you can run all the scanners, analysis, or inspect them manually yourself in the safe environment. So that's it from me. Please reach out to me on X, or you can also check the VMware code blog, where the whole team is blogging regularly. So this is a nice place to be at. Thank you. Questions?
When you talk about the cloud, is it the VMware cloud, or are there other cloud providers that's also supporting
At the moment, I expected this question. The moment the only cloud which is supported is VMware Cloud on AWS, but the strategy there is to go to other clouds and to go on-prem as well.